This is the brand new, yet to be released Stihl MS 400.1. Now it is replacing two of the saws in Stihl's lineup. It is replacing their current Stihl MS 400C and also the MS 362. Now in our previous video, Josh lifted the lid and went through the technical specs of this saw compared to the current 400. So if you want to go back and watch that, it'll be linked at the end of this one. Now in this video, I am going to actually put it through its first test it in some wood. And in a future video, we are going to put the saw up against the current 400 and the 362 to see where it sits in the market. Now in Josh's video, he mentioned that the new saw has an aluminium piston and the original 400 had a magnesium piston. Now when he was doing the video, he pointed towards the cylinder, but just to make sure everyone is aware that it is only the piston that was magnesium in the original 400. So I think Stihl are a little bit nervous about me doing this review because they know how much I love the current 400C. Now, the new 400C comes in at slightly less cc than the new one, and it comes in at more cc than the 362. But apparently this has more torque than both. So it's going to be interesting to put it through this oak and see how well it does. So let's fire it up and get on. Now I know what you're all thinking and probably what you're going to write into the comments, and that's that any saw will cut through a bit of rotten old oak. Now I wasn't expecting that tree to be quite as rotten as it was, but there we go. Right, so before we dig into this nice bit of Sitka, let's talk a little bit about the saw. Now I think there are some Stihl fans out there who'd have hoped this might have been an injection chainsaw like its bigger brother, the 500i. Now I completely get why Stihl haven't brought out an injection version of this, because if we compare the MS241 and the MS261, there was hardly any price difference between the two. So everyone went for the 261 rather than the 241, and the 241 hardly ever sold. And I think that would have happened here if they had brought the 400 out as an injection machine. So the price difference just wouldn't have had a big enough difference, and everyone would have gone for the 500 instead. Doing it this way, it gives a bigger price gap between the 400 and the 500. Now, some others might think that this should have been a 401 rather than a 400.1. Now, I think, and this is my speculation, how Stihl are looking at their model numbers going forward. They've got now a 400, they've got a 500, their 661 is getting a little bit older in the tooth, so that might come out as a 600. You never know, it might even be injection, let's hope so. And then they've got their 881, which would theoretically be their 800, so you'll have a 400, a 500, a 600, and an 800. Now, the previous model of this was the 400C and its smaller brother, the 362. Now, the original 400 was built on the 362 chassis and pretty much just had a magnesium piston and a few other little tidbits different compared to it. But now with this saw, it looks very much like a 500i. It's got the same styling, the same bodywork, and everything matches in. So I think Stihl are definitely going in the right direction. Anyway, let's put the saw through this nice bit of Sitka. So now I'm going to do a series of cuts down through this bit of Sitka, using the dogging teeth, putting a bit of pressure under it to see what that torque is really like. Now, as I said at the beginning of this video, Stihl were nervous about me trying this saw because I was so much in love with the older 400. Now, I don't know why, because that, without putting them right up against each other, I feel is just as good as the original 400. Yes, it's slightly less CC, but you can't tell. Now, it's going to be really interesting in the next video when we put it through some of this. We've got some more cypress, Sitka even, we've got some ash. I'll sort out some better oak than I had in this video, and I think we'll really put them to the test. And we'll also have the 362 as well to put them up against, so you can see exactly where this saw sits in the new Stihl lineup. The styling is bob on, really like it. I also want to do a bore cut in the next video because you've got a slightly bigger plate back here on this new saw compared to the old one as well. So I think there's a lot to be said for it. I think Stihl have definitely done the right thing of bringing it in line with the rest of their range. But what I want to know in the comments below is what's your thoughts? Do you already have a 400? Do you like the new 400? Would you just buy a 500i? Would you buy a 462? Because we don't know what's going to happen with that one yet either, because that's a very popular saw. Or are you going to miss a 362? So yeah, really want to hear your feedback in the comments below. But thank you very much for watching. We're Machinery Nation. We bring you videos every single week about machinery and tools. So please give us a follow, a subscribe and a like, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheerio.